Afternoon, Santa Clarita Valley. This is KHTS with Ask Brien Show, and we have a new co-host. That's Patty. Patty, hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
This is her first show, so everybody give her a big welcome to her.
Round of applause.
So, Patty, let's just give a quick background so people that don't know who you are, you can tell them who they are. Where do you work currently?
Sure. I am a mortgage advisor with American Family Funding. I've been with them for almost 5 years, been in the business for about 15. Come from corporate banking, authored, written 4 books, love this community, very active in the community, and have lived here for 30 years as well.
So what are these books about?
The most recent book is called Money Rules 101, Master Your Money Before It Masters You. And it's specifically for high school and college kids to get a handle on money, be comfortable with money. Also very applicable and great for those who are starting over in life after divorce or after a death of a spouse who just needs to get more comfortable with money. So it's kind of the basics, simplified, but really powerful, good information.
So basically your first basic money book.
Yes.
So it's like, you don't have anything for kids, like you're 5 years old?
I don't have the piggy bank books. Yeah, there's a few of those out there, but no, I decided I was going to focus more on the high school and college.
When they're close to getting a mortgage, huh?
Well, hopefully that would be awesome. Yeah, I do have. You know what? I've actually had some clients in their 20s buying houses, which is great. They've had a little help from parents.
Well, that's a good idea.
But hey, you know what? They're getting it down. So it's awesome.
And we have a great super guest today, Claudia Sheridan. We'll be talking to her in a few minutes. Before we get to her, I just want to quickly go over with some people here. We haven't been on the show for about a month. We took a month hiatus. We had we're exploring the world, basically. And for people that don't know about Ask Brien, Ask Brien is a website, and it's spelled with an E, ASKBRIEN. It's not A-N, it's not Y-A-N, it's not I-A-N. Not everybody's looking, though. It's on the radio. When you're driving your car, you can't look at it.
That's true.
So you have to be careful. She was pointing over to the
sign.
So for those on Facebook Live, yes. For those that are driving, please do not look up. Please do not keep your eyes on the road. We have enough problems with the fires. We don't need any more accidents out there. But anyway, so Ask Brien has been around for over a year now, and basically the Ask Brien website basically provides business resources to business people. So if you have a business problem of any sort, you go to the Ask Brien site. At the Ask Brien site, you can have a specific question, and you can ask it to the community at large. You can also ask it to an expert and have an expert answer the question. Like in a short while, we're going to be going over with Claudia Sheridan. She's an expert in Facebook. You could specifically ask her a specific Facebook question on the Ask Brien site once she's a registered user and expert. Then we have the videos that people can learn any subject. So you can have business classes where, similar to Udemy, where you can learn anything from accounting all the way to website design, anything from A to Z. We have those categories: how to set up your first QuickBooks, how to charge your first charge account, all the way up to more sophisticated and detailed, as well as ebooks. And basically, it's a learning resource, and that we are actually in the process of revamping the site. And when that site gets revamped, it's going to be even better than it is. We also currently offering job posting, etc. So anything that a business needs to grow or start, those answers and questions are there. That's what the Ask Brien site is for. The Ask Brien Radio Show is an offshoot of that, basically, again, trying to teach and learn any type of business concept to a business owner, and that's online or offline. While our primary focus is on an online, on the radio show, we do answer any specific questions for the brick and mortar or for anyone working at home. You don't have to have just an online store to be looking and getting business resources off the Ask Brien site, and some of our experts are only into brick and mortar. We've had other guests on the site, furniture owners, etc., of brick and mortar. So without further ado, I want to get a little background from our fabulous guest, Claudia Sheridan. Claudia, welcome to have you on.
Welcome, Claudia.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me here. It is my pleasure, my honor to be here. So a little bit about myself. I have been with Have to get the mic a little bit closer to me, I'm being told. I have been doing social media now for about 10 years, and I started my business 5 years ago, where I started helping small business owners and entrepreneurs learn how to get online and really leverage their exposure. So the boring background stuff, I do have an MBA. I'm certified in multiple different topics, including Facebook advertising, email marketing, content management, community building, from different sources. So.
And so I have a couple more questions about your background. So prior, you said you started about, 10 years ago?
Doing social media, yeah.
And what were you, first of all, 10 years ago, was there a Facebook around 10 years ago?
You know what? I just celebrated my 10th year with Facebook, my 10th year anniversary, so yes.
So the group of the first 1,000 people?
I wish, right? No. But yeah, no, I joined Facebook back in 2007, and I know a lot of people did because I see them, well, at least my friends, I see them in the news feed currently celebrating their 10 years, so.
So what did you do prior to that?
So I have been involved with small businesses for a long time. I moved to this particular area 10 years ago, and prior to that.
That's Santa Clarita?
To Santa Clarita. And prior to that.
Because you like the fires?
I'm sorry?
You like to be in the fire zone?
You know, it's kind of mix it up a little bit. It keeps it interesting. But prior to that, I used to own a cheese manufacturing company. And so I had to learn how to market my business. We were using pay-per-click advertising to sell cheese and get clients nationally. And then prior to that, I'm a self-taught programmer. So I was teaching at the University of Dallas, teaching e-commerce management when nobody even knew how to send any money online.
I had a website prior
awesome.
to Google.
Yeah, long time.
I had a website prior to Google, and people said, why didn't it not work? Well, I didn't know how to market it at the time. There was no PPC. They had Yahoo and a couple of things, and you ran banner ads, and nobody was responding to the banner ads.
You'd get everybody to sponsor. You'd try and get some people to sponsor your ads on a different page.
So the world has definitely changed. That was almost
Absolutely.
20 years ago for me. So, but I have a couple questions for you. So when you use the term social media, what does that mean?
So social media is using any of the main popular platforms, and they're platforms where you are having conversations with other individuals and connecting with other individuals. So it would be, for our purposes, it would be platforms like Facebook, it would be LinkedIn, it would be Instagram, it could be Twitter, all the different popular platforms where you're going out there and you're connecting with other individuals.
So does it have to be popular? Or, for instance, when something starts, it's not popular. So
Well, of course, so like new ones that I see popping up, I believe one of them is called Alignable.
Okay,
I've seen that.
I've seen that come
I've
up,
seen that,
and it
yeah.
looks like they're trying to do a spin. And I'm not too familiar with Alignable. I have my listing
they're
on
actually
it.
pretty big.
Okay, so I just heard about them not too long ago, put my listing up there and started to see that they do encourage you to ask questions, they encourage you to connect. So they're definitely trying to emulate a social media platform and increase it in popularity. So we'll see where it goes. A lot of platforms have started off, a lot of businesses have started an offshoot by creating their forums. Remember the forums back in the day?
Yes.
So the forum was definitely a way of doing social media because you were connecting with other individuals, and they were trying to create their own forums, and unfortunately those may not have the longevity. Some have lasted a lot longer than others.
Well, and then you have Reddit, which basically became the biggest forum pretty
Right.
much out there.
Absolutely.
Now, would you consider Reddit to be social media?
So I consider Reddit to be a platform where you're sharing articles and information.
And what about Stumble Upon?
Same.
So basically, if you're sharing information, you're not a social media because you're not interacting?
I don't want to say the word "not." Those are your words, not mine.
Okay, so what are they? What are the correct words?
For those particular platforms, if you think about what the goals are on there, the goals for Reddit was if you look at it and take a solid look at it, the goal is for you to get the word out. So there's conversations that happens within comments, which also occur on a blog. A blog is not social media either. So social media, think of social media when you go into a platform where you're having real-time, you can have real-time interactions with individuals, but because they've posted a comment or they've posted a status update, and then we're responding to those updates.
And on Reddit, when they're posting something, what is the difference?
You know what? When I research everything about Reddit, I'll be happy to have me come back on as
Well,
a
we're
guest,
gonna
and we
have
can
her back
spend
on the
all our
show.
time on it.
You know what? You know what we
might.
can all agree on is that social media, looking at just the last 5-10 years, how much it's evolved, how much new, constantly something new is coming out, and 10 years from now, we're going to have things out that aren't here today.
Absolutely.
We don't know what we don't know. And the social media that's working today may be completely dinosaur
Oh, totally.
5-10 years from now. So the important thing is to be very fluid, responsive, you're up on your game with what's happening, and that's crucial. So good for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's an excellent point, Patty, because when we do look at social media, there are strategies that work on marketing your business that worked last year that are now completely antiquated. So you won't get you may not get, I won't say the word won't because I don't like finite words, but you may not get the traction that you got last year at this time. A good example is when businesses start their online presence. I like to think of it as, the driving, if you're local, the 405 freeway, you don't just voluntarily jump on the 405 freeway.
I do.
You're a
Unless
glutton
you have
for punishment.
to. Unless you have to.
Like, I don't wake up in the morning and go, hey, I've got nothing to do with today.
That is
Let
not
me
my
jump
friend.
on the 405.
That is not my friend.
Right? And then when you get on the 405, your expectation is traffic. I was speaking to somebody out in Phoenix today, and he said, I laugh about people in Los Angeles area because they never talk about distance. They talk about time. So 405 freeway, how long is it? It's about, 40 miles, roughly? It can take you 8 hours.
Yeah.
So if you look at social media with a lot of the different platforms, think of 405 freeway 20, 30 years ago, where you could get from one point to another. And then think about it today when you're just like, oh, is there another route? Or maybe I can go a different time.
You're listening to KHTS on your dial, just to let everybody know. Didn't mean to interrupt.
You're good.
AM 1220.
No, well,
So yeah, it's so that's how you think about social media now. Tactics that worked in the past, getting on that freeway and having smooth sailing. When you get on today, there's a lot more cars on the freeway. There's a lot more cars that are fighting for that real estate, and that's the same thing that's going on with social media.
so going back in the past, what about MySpace? Was that a social media platform?
Everybody had a friend named Tom.
Yeah, well,
So everybody's friend was
here's my
Tom.
first friend.
Oh, absolutely. So MySpace was probably one of the pioneers of the terms social media concept. That's when people really started saying, hey, let me get into an account and let me start commenting back and forth.
so
And that was more than 10 years ago.
well, yes, but
Yeah,
but so my question to you now is, how you started 10 years ago into social media? How did you just decide to get involved in this?
Well, it's not necessarily that I've been decided to get involved with it. I'm a self-taught programmer. I was teaching e-commerce management back in '97. For those of you that are watching me live, I know I don't look more than 25, but but I started young, and it was a time where people didn't understand what it was to do business on something other than face-to-face or on the phone or calling in and giving a credit card. So there was a lot of trust and a lot of learning, big learning curve. It was something I've always been involved with and always been fascinated with because it was second nature. So like you, I had a website way before Google. I was selling on eBay when eBay first came out, and I had my own little store on my website at the time. Was called kayas.com, where I would sell jewelry. And, you're looking at something that was back in 97, 98 when people weren't doing that.
Wow.
So it's always just been an inherent nature. It's my happy place. And when I decided, when I want to do my own business, I want to help people as best I can, rather than working for one individual solely and doing all their social media marketing. Let me go ahead and reach out to more entrepreneurs and help them get online and learn more about
And build.
it.
Let me ask you a very basic question. Why is social media so important for business owners? Whether you're a small business entrepreneur, a consultant, coach, to a mid-sized business owner, if you're an attorney, a doctor, a dentist, why is social media so important?
I think social media is, as a business owner, you really need to consider social media as one of your marketing strategies because everybody else is on there. So if you think about the very first lessons you learned when you took Marketing 101, it's be where your customer is at. Location, location, location. Right? When you're in the real estate industry.
Makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're looking to see where your customers at, your customers are engaging on social media. Just take a look around from whatever you're doing, and you'll see how many people are on their phones. And a lot of those people are engaging in social media in some form or another, and yet you're not there. So you need to show up. And showing up is a huge part of the game.
Makes sense.
You need to be there.
But I'm going to challenge you on that.
Sure.
Now, so, you talk about doctors, dentists, lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How are they being engaged on Facebook? Do you think somebody's going to discuss a personal legal issue on Facebook and try to engage in that matter? I don't see that.
Okay, so here's where I'm going to steer you in a different direction, because this is where I see the flaw that a lot of small businesses make. And again, my opinion, but you can do a lot of research on it, and you'll find a lot of people are saying the same things. a lot of times small business owners and larger businesses and entrepreneurs get online and they say, buy, do. And they just want it to be a purely one-way conversation of spewing information, right? Okay. That's not what you do on social media. On social media is a place where you actually are creating relationships. So rather than being the lawyer who's talking about a legal issue, how about speaking to protecting yourself on how not to get involved with that legal issue and seeing how it has impacted others who maybe have been able to avoid it. But then you're there should somebody need your services. A dentist as well. A dentist doesn't need to talk about pulling teeth. I mean, I think that going to the dentist is one of the largest fears that people have besides speaking and jumping off buildings. So a dentist doesn't have to go online. And I've had multiple dentist clients as well. A dentist does not have to go online and say, hey, come and clean your teeth. Hey, come and do this. A dentist can really focus on the importance of someone's smile.
You brought up a really important point, and that is building relationships. On Facebook, I have attorney friends, and I have actually a dentist friend. Mm-hmm. And there is some value with information, and there's a lot of just personal family pictures, and here's what I'm doing in my life. And it builds a relationship, so I get to know that person as a person. And I become more comfortable. I can trust them. I like them more. Yes. So when I think, I need an attorney, and I'm thinking specifically of an estate planning attorney that's a friend of mine who posts lots of great value, mm-hmm. good information. And he's doing a great job of it, and videos and the whole thing. When it comes time to do a living trust or to need something, I'm going to call, I have a living trust through him, but the point is that, you think, you know what, he's online a lot. I like him. I like what he's doing. I like him as a person. I'm going to call him.
And that's huge because what he's managed to do is remain top of mind.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and he's allowed you to view a part of his world and for you to become a part of your world.
Personally.
Yeah, personally. And so, and I think you mentioned a couple of great things. You know him more and you trust him more. And anytime, again, with marketing, you're really trying to get people to know you, like you, and trust you. And that's where on social media you need to focus on those aspects. I mean, if you're posting on social media and you're doing your communication, the topics that you're posting on need to allow people to see who you are as a business individual. That doesn't mean you need to go show pictures of yourself in a bikini or your feet. Please keep your feet off of Facebook.
What am I going to do then?
Yeah, right. I don't know what you're going to do, Brian. You're going to figure it out. So you'll have to figure it out. But yeah, it's, you want to make sure that you allow people to see the part of you that you're comfortable seeing and that it relates to what your goal and your message is. And that's huge. And if you master those things, your social media will just take you a lot further. That's like getting the free pass into the HOV lane on 405, if there was one the entire way.
So we're going to be going to a break shortly. When we come back from the break, I want you to think this over. But basically, we're going to present a situation where somebody has a brand new business. They're just starting it, and we're going to ask you questions regarding what do I do to start my process, to build my Facebook fan page, and what do I do to start my list building? What am I going to do?
Great.
And I have limited funds.
I look forward to it. Awesome.
And we'll be right back.
City of Hope is a leader in cancer research and treatment. And there's a City of Hope location right here in Santa Clarita, eliminating a major barrier in the fight against cancer: distance to quality care. Santa Clarita has the advantages of City of Hope's renowned clinical expertise, compassionate care, and access to clinical trials. Find out more at cityofhope.org/Santa Clarita or call 661-799-1999.
Buying your home can sometimes be challenging. That's why Charlene Gill with CSMC Mortgage is your Santa Clarita mortgage expert. What's important to you is to secure a loan at the best possible rate, to have a professional guide you through the process, and to close on time. Charlene's 23 years of experience in the mortgage industry and her personal expert knowledge in the Santa Clarita Valley makes her your mortgage expert. Contact Charlene at hometownstation.com/Charlene. hometownstation.com/Charlene.
Mission Valley Bank puts the community in community banking. They strive to be your most trusted bank. Mission Valley Bank is happy to sponsor KHTS Holiday Music. Happy holidays!
KHTS Holiday Music also brought to you by Chiquita Canyon.
From all of us at Chiquita Canyon, we'd like to wish you and your family a happy, prosperous holiday season. This year, Chiquita Canyon is proud to sponsor holiday music on your local hometown station, KHTS. Happy holidays.
Drugs or alcohol abuse can tear a family apart. In Santa Clarita, just like everywhere else, it's an epidemic. The Way Out Recovery is here to help. Call them now at 296-4444 or visit them on the web at thewayoutrecoveryscv.com. The Way Out offers outpatient treatment for adolescents, adults, and family members. The Way Out is compassionate, caring, professional, and confidential. You and your family don't have to suffer any longer. Call The Way Out Recovery now, 296-4444, or visit thewayoutrecoveryscv.com and make an appointment. Asking for help is the first step.
Did you see that car?
Isn't it the best? A moving advertisement.
Command eye-catching attention with the Vehicle Wrap by Feathers. Feathers can turn your company vehicles into a cost-effective moving billboard. Their high-quality, high-resolution vehicle wraps deliver excellent marketing exposure. Feathers works closely with you to clearly display your message, whether it's for branding of a new product, increasing name recognition, or promoting an event. Feathers Vehicle Wraps gets the job done. Feathers on Soledad and Canyon Country across from Edwards Theaters.
Something big is coming to Castaic.
Is it a dinosaur, Bob?
No, Blanche.
Is it the 2020 Olympics?
No.
I know. We're finally hosting the World Cup.
No, silly. They're building Castaic High.
Bob, no way.
Way. Go visit CastaicHighProject.com. You'll get all the latest details.
What's that web address again, Bob?
CastaicHighProject.com.
Again?
CastaicHighProject.com.
Bigger than a dinosaur?
That's right. CastaicHighProject.com.
City of Hope is a leader in cancer research and treatment. And there's a City of Hope location right here in Santa Clarita, eliminating a major barrier in the fight against cancer. Distance to quality care. Santa Clarita has the advantages of City of Hope's renowned clinical expertise, compassionate care, and access to clinical trials. Find out more at cityofhope.org/Santa Clarita or call 661-799-1999.
KHTS.
I just love that theme song for Ask Brien. It's a great song. You know, somebody told me that in a movie they used that one time, but I just love it as an Ask Brien theme song. So we're back live on Ask Brien Show. We have Patty and we have Claudia, and we have a couple questions for Claudia. We were just off on the break, and my question to you is: I'm just starting out. I got $1,000. I have my website is already launched. I don't know what to do. I want to create a Facebook page, and I want to create a list so I can go back to people. What do I do?
Okay, so, and that's actually a situation that I get a lot. You know, they'll come and say, I've gone through the effort. I went to my host, regardless of whatever hosting company you're using. I used a templated site. Now I have a website. And now how do I drive traffic to my website? What's going on? So there are multiple ways that you can actually drive traffic. Now, so I'm going to give you one strategy that you can use, especially if your funds are at $1,000. Another thing I often hear is, I don't have any money. So here's the interesting part is that it's pay to play, people. And I'm going to say, for those of you watching us live, I'm going to look right in the camera and say it's pay to play. And I say that because if we go back to the original analogy I used of the 405, you know, it does take time, first of all. It takes energy. And you can get a lot further with the money that you have. Now, with $1,000, actually a pretty good sized budget for a starting company to start off with, compared to what I've seen and been challenged with in the past.
I would think that'd be nothing, but go ahead.
I would like to think it's nothing as well. However, it's very common. A lot of people, $1,000 is their whole budget for the year, you know, so or for the next 2 years. So what I would advise you to do is, first of all, is really figure out what value you're offering as a business, and see if there's a way that you can entice individuals to want to listen to you. So, for example, if we go to an industry, a specific industry, if you're a coach, if you're in the mortgage industry. Attorney might be a little bit different because I don't know when I'm going to need an attorney's services. But if if you're looking like some kind of coach or a consultant or a local store, think about what it is that you can offer to entice somebody to exchange information with you, to entice them to follow you on Facebook, to entice them. Right here we've got. He's showing
free
up
book.
he's showing up my book. It's not free, but it's available on Amazon. Shameless plug. And it's the ultimate guide to getting started with social media. What every small business owner should know. And I cover some of this in there because you can offer what's called a lead magnet. First of all, to build your list. So you would offer something of value in exchange for an email address. So I did a consultation this week with a woman who has a self-defense company, and we were thinking about what kind of lead magnets can we offer to entice somebody to want to join my email list. Now, some people think, well, I don't even want to deal with email. And I get that. I understand it. We often think, God, that's just one more thing I need to deal with and one more thing I need to worry about. But the reality is that, again, going back to what we talked about in the beginning, location, 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 you need to meet your people where they are at. And if they're on email and there are people who open up their email, you want to continue to nurture those relationships on the email. So what can you do? You create your Facebook page. Yes, that is free. It does take time for you to do. You go in, you click a little button, say create a page, and you create your page.
And you can create it yourself.
And what most business owners don't do is they don't completely fill it out. They create the page, they secure the domain, and then they say, okay, yeah, I got a page. And then they don't post anything for 2 or 3 years. So one of the things I like saying is just because
Were you looking at my page again?
I know, right? I was totally looking at your page. Just because you build it doesn't mean they will come. You need to let people know. So invite
Kevin Costner, Field of Dreams, said that.
And it's actually the very first paragraph in the first portion of my book, because it's exactly that.
Engage people.
So, the things you need to do is you need to post consistently because you need to start building your audience and start giving value. Think about giving more than asking. Because I don't know you yet, I don't like you yet, and I sure as heck don't trust you yet. So,
but how do they know you're there?
To do that, well, you let them know. So, here's an interesting thing that I find: a lot of small business owners and entrepreneurs, I'll tell them, do your friends and family know what you do? And they're like, no, I don't want to bother them. Well, in the beginning, who are your biggest supporters? Your biggest supporters in the beginning that want
what if
you
I'm a
to
hitman?
succeed. Hold on, let me finish my thought. That want you to succeed are individuals who love you and already know you and like you and trust you. So they're going to be the first proponents to get the word out for you. So don't be afraid to let them know.
They're your cheerleaders.
Absolutely your cheerleaders. Absolutely. Everyone needs your cheerleaders, right?
Yeah.
Another thing, just because you have an online store, or an online presence, don't ditch traditional marketing methods. Go out there, use your voice. I was thinking, what movie is that? Is it the Chihuahua movie where it says he found his bark? A little dog finally barks for the first time and he finds his bark. Go out there and use your voice and let people know that you are on Facebook. Let people know that you have a website. And then you can run some Facebook advertising or whatever platform you're looking for to actually generate some traffic and get some more eyes. And we call those awareness campaigns. Now, you can get a little bit more involved in that as you're more established and your budget goes up maybe a little bit higher than $1,000. But in the beginning, the goal, and if you're just starting out, think of these 3 things. And this is nuggets. Write this down. Goals, content, and targeting. Everything you do relates to a specific goal you're trying to achieve. So in your scenario, you had asked, how do I let people know that I'm aware? That goal is awareness. That's not sales. That's awareness. And so if you have campaigns that are building awareness, the purpose of awareness is to let people know more about your brand. So then we look at who is our target audience. And from our target audience that we're trying to get in front of, then we write the content that resonates with that audience. A lot of times, you start off your business, you're really excited about your business, you know everything about it, and you just can't wait to regurgitate everything you know to anybody who will listen. And the reality is the people that are your audience, it's not about you, it's about them. So you need to give them the information that they want to know, that's of interest to them. That's the fastest way for you to build your brand.
And being consistent is huge.
Consistency is huge.
Yeah. You can't post once, like you said earlier, once every couple of years.
Yeah.
If you're not consistently, it's top of mind, like you said earlier. It's absolutely, and like bringing value, consistently value, give. And then when they need something of that, guess who they're going to think of?
Guess who they think of. Have omnipresence be everywhere. So just because you're on Facebook doesn't mean you don't need email. It doesn't mean you don't need a website. One of the common debates I'm reading about right now is, do I still need a website? I'm on Facebook. So here's something to think about. You don't own Facebook. You own your website. If you're hosting your website.
And you own your database.
But you don't own your followers.
But actually, Facebook does also now have Marketplace, so you actually could have your own Facebook-type store.
Absolutely, but what if Facebook goes down tomorrow? Your store just went out of business.
Well, that same thing works for eBay or Amazon stores.
Right, which is why those shouldn't be your main source of places. You
Yeah.
need to consistently give somebody a home base to go back to.
Can I share a story real quick? I'll interrupt you for 1 minute.
Please.
I am a big proponent of email, and I know people get tons of emails, and lots of times it's just deleted. I'm sure it is, but the email allows me very inexpensively, I mean like dirt cheap inexpensively, to stay in touch with my people on a weekly basis. Now, the mortgage business is not exciting. It's not terribly thrilling to most, unless you're in the middle of buying a house. Okay, I get that. So
Or if you like numbers a lot.
or you like numbers, but the email is part market update, so they know what's happening in the market.
Right.
But also a little bit about me personally, what's happened to me in that week. So I'll share something with my son or with my family, or what I did on vacation, or a personal challenge or something, so that they get to know me a little bit. So it's an opportunity for me to share a little bit about me, and then the market update. And it's a weekly email campaign, again, very inexpensive, and it's beautiful. And I get so many people who respond to that email campaign. Great information. Thank you for sharing. I did a post recently with my parents who had their 62nd wedding anniversary, and I posted a picture of them on their wedding day and today. And I can't tell you how many people had responded to that. And it's just, again, people getting to know me and my personal world, and it's just so cheap.
Right, and it's you're meeting them where they are. And so oftentimes, you'll notice that somebody may be deleting your email for 3 months in a row. And you're like, why isn't Claudia ever opening my email? And then all of a sudden,
She doesn't like you.
Right? And people think that. They get so offended because I didn't open the email. The reality is, maybe I'm not interested in mortgages at that moment in time. But when I am interested in mortgages, guess who pops into my email every week?
At that moment.
Guess who I'm going to think about, whether I know Patty or not. And I do. And she's great. Please use her. But whether I know her or not, I'm going to think, mortgages, I'm on somebody's list for a reason, because I opted, please don't just add people arbitrarily to your list, but I opted to be in there, and I'm ready to now read what she has to say. But on the other end, if I'm not reading my emails, I may be more active in social media at that point in time. And so if I see your post and I see that same example of their anniversary, now I'm getting to know who you are as a person. So now you're a family person. Your parents mean a lot to you. Your parents mean a lot to me. So that's something that you resonate with.
Yeah.
And if I think about it, then I'm going to tend to go in that direction.
This is KHTS, the Brien Radio Show. And we're here with Claudia and my co-host, Patty. Question for you. So how long? So you've got $1,000. How long is it going to take? How many people do you think you'll be able to attract with $1,000?
It all depends on how good of a service and a product and an offering you have, and how good your message is.
Well, let's go low to high.
Low to high. If you have a poor message and unclear on what you're doing, that $1,000 isn't going to get you very far at all.
And if you have a pretty good message.
If you have a pretty solid message and you understand exactly who your target audience is and you've got solid content, that $1,000 can get you started with a solid list in order to start to create custom audiences and really start to expand your audience using social media.
500 people, 1,000?
It all depends. It all depends on your following. It all depends on what your service and your offering is. For example, it is going to take a lawyer a lot longer to build a list and to build a fan base than it is going to take a dog lover with a vanity page that is posting pictures about their dog all the time. So, there's interest levels that really determine what it is how far you're going to get. Some take longer than others.
So you mentioned Target. Mm-hmm. Talk about Facebook groups, ads, doing those where you can I'm not using the right words. When you actually buy an ad, you can actually put the demographic of
and target it.
Target
absolutely
exactly what you're looking for.
Absolutely. So I'm going to use the term Facebook advertising and Facebook targeting because Facebook groups is something totally different. Facebook advertising is
can you just explain the difference so that people know?
Well, I had started with Facebook advertising, but let me go back to Facebook group really quick.
Just a minute, and then go right into it.
So Facebook groups is when you're establishing a community, an online community where you can converse with one another. You have a common point of interest that puts you guys together into a community setting. So that's a Facebook group. Currently, although Facebook is testing with advertising to groups, it is not currently rolled out nor available to everybody. Okay. So that's groups. Now, Facebook advertising is available to every business owner that has a Facebook business page. It's also available to non-business owners who have a Facebook business page. That's the catch. You must have a Facebook page. A page is different than a profile. Profiles have friends. Pages have likes and followers and fans. So when you start your business, you have your page, you go in and create your first ad, and you decide, who do I want to get this message in front of? Facebook is associated, has agreements, and I don't know all the, we'll defer to the lawyer on that. I don't know all of their agreements, but they do have associations with companies like Axiom and large data houses. And so they have given you and empowered the small business owner and the entrepreneur with the exact same tools that large companies have, because we have access to the exact same data. We do not know who the person is, and part of it is based on your activities with Facebook, but part of it is also based on your home purchasing, your credit card expenditures. So it takes all of that together. And from there, we can, if we know who our ideal client is and who the exact person is, we can literally target them within a certain specific demographic as well as psychographics. So demographics being age.
What's a psychographic?
I'll get to that right now. Demographics being age and marital status, things like that, occupation. Psychographics is based on interest and behaviors. So it's if I'm interested in boating. I work with a gentleman who is very high interest in boating. Well, boating is not a demographic. Being a boat lover is not a demographic thing. It does not appear on the census. However, being a boat lover, I would probably subscribe to certain magazines. I would belong to certain communities. I might belong with certain organizations. I might favor certain products and brands. Those are called psychographics. And within Facebook targeting, you can actually narrow it down to that granular of a level to, one, expand your own audience base and get in front of people who you didn't even know, don't even know that you exist, but also to get your exact message in front of them.
So if you have a shoe store, you could go to only people that have shoes as a hobby.
I could. Yeah. I mean,
there are a lot of us out there who do have shoes as a hobby.
But you may find when you start doing a lot of the research, you may find that people that have shoes as a hobby also tend to eat out a lot and go to restaurants a lot. So because where are you going to wear your shoes? At a nice restaurant.
Let me ask you a question. You hear a lot right now about is Facebook listening to you?
Yes.
Okay, so I had an experience recently that was so freaky, so crazy, and I thought, what the heck? So talk to us about that.
Okay, so I do not work for Facebook. I'm not associated with Facebook other than I love Facebook, and because of Facebook, I do what I do. But there is speculation and there's allegations or whatever the term is that Facebook is allegedly listening to you and serving up ads. So with that, I can't deny nor confirm because I seriously don't know. And I know you can't see me out in radio world.
We're not
and
a congressional
world.
organization.
Yeah, I don't know. What I can tell you is that because of advertising across multiple different platforms, there are things called pixels which follow you around. So I recently went to so I have a client that's working with a infrastructure backend they're implementing. And it's a very popular one, but it's not one that I would ever use nor recommend because I'm not familiar with it. And I was talking to my client about it on the phone, and I said, okay, let me look more into it. And sure enough, an ad came up, and it popped up for this particular platform. And my first thought was, well, that was interesting. That's kind of cool. It was interesting. I'm fascinated by this. But if I look back and think about it, I have been to that website multiple times. And I've been to that website because I was researching it before, which means that somebody has pixeled me. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is how they remarket you. So you may see.
Can you explain what a pixel is?
Sure. A pixel is actually a very small snippet of code that you place on a website. That's what a pixel is. It's a one-by-one pixel.
So that's similar to, for instance, you can do the Google Analytics on your website, or if you had an affiliate program.
Those are all pixels in a way.
All pixels.
Yeah, it's all a small little piece of JavaScript.
And so how do you get a pixel?
On the different platforms, you typically go into your business settings and look up for your remarketing pixels.
No, but like for instance for Facebook.
For Facebook. So Facebook, you log into your business manager after you have a business page.
Business manager.
Business
That's
manager.
on your business page.
Yep.
Okay.
So a profile does not have access to this. You must have a business page. You go into your business manager and then you say create pixel, and it'll give you that little snippet of code for you to put on your website. And then
you put it on your website, or do you put it on your ads that you're running on Facebook?
You put it on your website. And the reason you put it on your website is because you want to retarget individuals who have visited your website and shown interest.
So then if you take that Facebook pixel, you put it on your website, okay? Have a programmer do that, all right? Then somebody comes and visits, Ask Brien, okay? Then 2 months later, they're doing something. They're going to be retargeted to come back to Ask Brien?
Only if you, as the business owner, decides to retarget them. So there are tools available to you. The choice is whether you decide to utilize them.
Okay.
So.
Or hire a pro like you.
Or definitely. If you have any
knows
questions, ClaudiaSheridan.com. Come on over. I'll help you out.
Now, I know, but not everybody else does. Explain retargeting.
So retargeting is exactly when you retarget an individual. So let's say using a pixel, for example. On a pixel, I have visited a website. So I'm going to go to, you're going to go to ClaudiaSheridan.com. When you go to ClaudiaSheridan.com, you may not know it, but on there, you are being set up for retargeting at a later point in time.
Is that like using cookies?
It is a short, well, yes and no. It is a short piece of code that is on the website that sends a message back to Facebook that then gets associated with your ID. Okay, so it's all handled on the Facebook end. All you have to do is put it on your website, and that's it. So then you've gone out to the page, you've read something, but maybe you haven't done business with me, and I decide to run an ad on a program that I'm offering or promoting a post of some sort. I can then retarget you, and because, one, you've already gone, so this is the relationship building part, because you've already gone to my page, you've seen my picture, you've hopefully read a couple of words on the page, stayed longer than 2 seconds, now you're going to see me on Facebook. And on Facebook, it's going to be another suggested post where it might have my page, it might have a video of me. It's coming through where I'm starting to create that relationship. My goal at that point is for you to engage. If we're engaging, now we're starting to get to know each other. It's like, I use the analogy oftentimes also of going to the grocery store. You go to the grocery store and you tend to see the same people all the time if you're in a routine, right? But you don't know everybody. And then all of a sudden you bump into their cart. You say, hey, sorry, I'll talk to you later, whatever it is. You see them 3 times later, and before you know it, now you know their name. Oh, what's in your cart? What's on sale? Where'd you get that? You're starting to create a relationship. That's what social media is about, and that's what retargeting allows you to do, especially if you're not building your following in any other way.
We're going to come back.
Huge.
We got to take a break, but we'll be right back, and we have some more questions.
The magic of the Christmas season comes to life on stage with Santa Clarita Ballet's production of The Nutcracker. This captivating and thoroughly entertaining holiday classic, performed by Santa Clarita Ballet, features characters that delight audiences. Travel with Mary and her Nutcracker to the land of sweets, where she meets the Sugar Plum Fairy. Performances run Saturday, December 16th through Sunday, December 17th at Santa Clarita Performing Arts Center at COC. Call 251-0366 or visit santaclaritaballet.net.
It's time to put the pedal to the metal. I'm Alan Taylor, host of The Drive, your source for all things auto. Broadcasting from the Peterson Automotive Museum every Saturday morning from 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KHTS. Brought to you by your friends at Galpin Motors.
Hey Dodgers fans, check out the KHTS website at hometownstation.com. Get the latest news and sports happenings in our Santa Clarita Valley, find out more about KHTS shows and our on-air features, plus receive incredible discounts with our restaurant row certificates. That's hometownstation.com.
You've seen them on Spike TV's Bar Rescue. Now experience the Cajun Belle in Canyon Country. The Cajun Belle, a terrific mix of SoCal Creole and the most flavorful handmade cocktails in our valley. It's the happening place, beginning with Blues Night every Wednesday from 7 to 11. Thursday is Karaoke Night with all-night happy hour featuring $1 tacos. Friday is Ladies Night with the coolest DJ in town. Check out live cover bands every weekend. The Cajun Belle on Soledad opposite the Canyon Country Post Office.
Healthcare can be difficult if you're underinsured or have Medi-Cal. Samuel Dixon Family Health Center can help. Services are available on a sliding fee schedule. The mission of the Samuel Dixon Family Health Center is to give the Santa Clarita Valley access to affordable, quality primary care. There are 3 locations to serve you: Canyon Country, Newhall, and Valverde. Go to sdfhc.org for more information and to find the location most convenient for you.
City of Hope is a leader in cancer research and treatment, and there's a City of Hope location right here in Santa Clarita, eliminating a major barrier in the fight against cancer: distance to quality care. Santa Clarita has the advantages of City of Hope's renowned clinical expertise, compassionate care, and access to clinical trials. Find out more at cityofhope.org/Santa Clarita or call 661-799-1999.
Buying your home can sometimes be challenging. That's why Charlene Gill with CSMC Mortgage is your Santa Clarita mortgage expert. What's important to you is to secure a loan at the best possible rate. to have a professional guide you through the process, and to close on time. Charlene's 23 years of experience in the mortgage industry and her personal expert knowledge in the Santa Clarita Valley makes her your mortgage expert. Contact Charlene at hometownstation.com/Charlene. hometownstation.com/Charlene.
Season's greetings from KHTS.
Welcome back, KHTS. We have a wonderful, wonderful guest, Claudia Sheridan, and of course my co-host, Patty. So we were asked. I think Patty had a question for you. So why don't you go ahead?
The Facebook fan page versus profile versus business page. Break that down for us.
Okay, great. So when you first created your Facebook account, that's when you gave your email address and your password, you have actually created a profile. So that is where you have friends. That is where you connect.
I have no friends.
You have no friends. That is where you connect with the people that matter most to you, and therefore they're the ones that most likely appear in your newsfeed. Now, a Facebook page, it used to be called a fan page. Now they dropped the word fan and they dropped the word business, and it's just called a page. Facebook page, capital P, is where you then can market your business from. So oftentimes, and I see this, and there are certain industries who are more guilty than others, but they'll market their business using their Facebook profile, which is your friends and family, okay? And on one realm, that's actually a violation of Facebook's terms of service, because you're not supposed to be marketing your business. It's
Maybe we should ask an attorney.
It's in the terms of service, but it's in violation of the terms of service. But a lot of people do it because, it's just easy for them and they're comfortable with that. And so I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. I'm going to say read your terms of services. But if you want to market your business, you should really create a Facebook page, because creating a Facebook page is what opens up that whole back end where we have access to the data that the big boys and girls have access to when they're marketing their businesses. So think about, you don't have to be a large company to do the same type of marketing and same type of advertising that they do. You can be a one-person shop actually doing your advertising.
So in my feed, when I see something that's sponsored,
yes. So a sponsored post, so the different types of things you'll see in your feed, and at any given point in time, there's about 15,000 stories that Facebook can show you at any moment in time. So there's a lot. So they try and balance it out between everything that matters most to you, which is like your family and your friends, something of interest, and those topics or those pages that you engage with a lot. So if I'm a page that engages, or if I'm an individual who engages with Ask Brian's page a lot, Ask Brian will start showing up organically on my newsfeed. Organically means it's not paid. When I see the sponsored post,
that sounds like SEO.
It does sound like SEO, right? Well, there's a lot to be said with there as well. When I see a post on the newsfeed that says sponsored behind it, it means that a business has decided to put some money behind it. So they are paying to get in front of you at that point.
Okay, awesome news. Well, let's make sure people know where to find you. I know we're not done yet, but tell us an email address.
She's right here. That's where you find her.
Online. We're talking online presence. Give us your email, your phone number.
Sure. So I have two different websites, ClaudiaSheridan.com, and I'm going to spell that out for you. ClaudiaSheridan, ClaudiaSheridan.com, or smallbusinessbreakthrough.com, which is my company. You can always find me on Facebook. Just Google my name, or Google my name. I'll definitely come up for sure. But you can look up my name on Facebook at Claudia Sheridan, and I will always come up from there as well.
But will you be friends with them?
Facebook has a limit of 5,000 friends, so if you send me it and you're not kind of weird, I will totally be happy to have you as a friend.
Tell Claudia that you heard her on the radio.
Yes,
and
please.
that you will like to. Yes, that.
Yeah, I mean, if you tell me that you heard me on the radio, then I'm happy to send you out a freebie for my website. If you go to ClaudiaSheridan.com, I've got quite a few freebies actually, which is a lead magnet, which is a way to build your list, and there's different things like how to grab attention using headlines and words that build emotion.
Yes. That's
right. Yes. And then another one on a Facebook ads worksheet, and then a Facebook ad checklist. So if you're just getting out Facebook ads,
and those are all great. Those are all complimentary.
They're complimentary, and all I ask in exchange is your email address and your first name.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's your checklist.
Yes, that's my checklist that I use with all my clients.
That you created something.
That I created. Everything on there is stuff that I've created or I've adopted for my own purposes, based on my experience working with my clients.
And you said they can buy the book through Amazon.com?
Amazon.com. The book is called The Ultimate Guide to Getting Started with Social Media. For those of you that are just getting started out, the subtitle is what every small business owner should know, because it offers a great 30,000-foot view to answer that question of why do I really need to be on social media? And it talks about how you can build awareness, engagement, and move them down through conversion as well.
So I have to be on an airplane. 30,000 feet.
You know, social media can be so overwhelming because there's so much to choose from, and you don't know where to start. And everyone's on Facebook as having their own profile page and their friends and family. But when you talk about all these different Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, I mean, there's this on and on and on. And like we talked about at the start of the show, how it's going to change. It's just amazing that you know, the overwhelm can make you not do nothing. And that's not good. You got to do something, which is why
start where you're comfortable.
Where you're comfortable. Reach out to your,
absolutely reach
information.
out. I'm happy to do. I have coaching services that I offer. I have a membership site. So if this is a lot, then we break it down in a monthly membership call where we go over specifically what it is that you're looking to accomplish. So
for their business.
We have about 15 seconds left. I just want you to tell me one thing about Instagram.
Sure.
What about Instagram?
Instagram's awesome, and it's owned by Facebook, and you should totally be on it as well if you're a visual company.
And do you have to do the same thing as Facebook to create a page?
Well, you can create a profile, and you also have the option to turn it into a business.
And can you link it to Facebook?
Yes, you can.
And I think that's about it.
Awesome.
Thank you guys
Great
so
show.
much.
Thank you, Claudia.